So at this point, he was behaving this way that you just saw in this video, and they all were fine with him. So then we have to ask ourselves the question, then what's different now? If he's, like somebody said in the comments, he's saying the same thing he's been saying for years. If he's saying the same thing, what has changed? Either TYT has changed or the target. Isn't his target the same? Democrats and Republicans? Isn't his target squarely on Democrats when they're in power? Squarely on these so-called progressives? So who has changed? Has Jimmy changed? Or has there been another influence that changed the people around Jimmy at that time? You get what I'm saying? If we're here, like all of them are here, and we're progressing left, what something anchors them here as he's still progressing left? Is that, or progressing? It doesn't have to be left. I just mean moving. But what made this break off? What kept people? I'm not going to phrase it that way. Okay, so let's see. Let me see what else I have here in my notes. Let's read the next part. Here. I'm going to come back sort of to that. So the last question I ask is it because of it? Why do they hate him? Is it because it's his in-your-face, prickly, Chicago-like demeanor? And I would say now the answer to that question is no. This video is saying, no, that's not it. That's what this video is saying to me. He's the same. He is screaming a slight notch above than what he does now. So then let's move to the next part, which is, because what do we say here with Nick? We could do it either way. So let's go with what they're saying. Let's say it's abrasive, is bad, and all the things saying. And that's what they're saying. I have a video where they're specifically talking about the way he argues, and we're going to cover that one too. But does his demeanor burn bridges? Does the way he interacts burn bridges? Now, they would say yes. So again, we're going with their thinking. So yes, it burns bridges. My next question will be, bridges to where? Bridges to where? This is what I wrote down. Does Jimmy Dore's demeanor burn bridges? ? What bridge to who is being burnt? Because that's key. Because what if we're on some sort of military mission, and not even a military mission, let's say somebody who wants to get us is trying to, the ruling class are trying to get us in a revolution. We're in the jungles. And they're on the other side. And the only thing one thing we can stop them from chasing us, we can burn this bridge. Isn't that a good bridge to burn? Isn't that a good bridge to burn? So I'm going to put that out there in this conversation, because there are some bridges that are good that we should be burning. Specifically, RBN believes one bridge that we should be definitely burning. This is the bridge to the Democratic Party. So when we're talking about he's burning bridges, that has to be the framing. the lens. Bridge to where? Let me see, where was I? Okay, right here. Is the bridge that is being burnt a bridge to the Democratic Party? Yes or no? Is the bridge being burned a bridge to the media that supports the Democratic Party? Meaning, like, I'm burning a bridge between another media person, but that media person tells people to go and support the Democratic Party. You see, it's by way through this media person, it's the same thing. Back to the Democratic Party. So let's go to the next part is it burning bridges to, oh, I answered this question already. There are bridges that we do want to burn, and specifically any bridge to the Democratic Party. So ask yourself, so now let me go to this question, burning bridges. It was a second. Okay, it was down here. So let's ask yourself this. Let's say let's say Jimmy Dore does not exist. Right? Let's say Jimmy Dore. Where am I here? Jimmy Dore does not exist. What would we collaborate on with these people who are saying he's preventing some sort of coalitioning or some sort of building back up the part of the Bernie coalition? What would we collaborate on with these people? The police state? Aren't they fine with funding them? Can we collaborate on that? What about the military industrial complex? Aren't they fine with sending money to the Ukraine? So, okay, let's do another one. Support for the apartheid state of Israel. Are we collabing on that? What about abandoning BDS? Is that something we're collaborating on? What would we collab on other than supporting the Democratic Party?